Good morning. I am here with some Alamo Heights High School students to get their perspective on the Alamo Heights profile of a learner. As we were developing this, I got questions all the time from teachers about the students. Well, what do the students think about this? How can we get a sense of what they think? And so I am here with some Alamo Heights High School students to ask them. Um, Today we are talking about two domains from the profile, and that is communicate and collaborate, and engage socially and globally. So my first question for you is, um, as you read through these, what kinds of things do you see would students be doing? What would you be doing if you were exhibiting these attributes? What would students be doing?
In order for myself to communicate and collaborate more effectively, I think that I would be learning to not only be a leader, but also be a follower and learn how to work better in a group setting.
I really believe in that too. Being able to lead is an acquired skill, but being able to follow is like one of those really, really, really difficult to learn skills. And I think it doesn't get learned usually until college or even past that when you're in the workplace. And it's really important that high school students know how to do that too, because a bunch of leaders in the same group trying to lead at the same time in different directions is never going to get anywhere.
I think it's important to respect everyone because you're not always going to like someone, but you have to respect their values and their ideas and work with them even if you don't agree with them.
Yeah, and go ahead, Michael.
I think it's important to realize that like everybody brings something to the table. So especially in like group settings, it'd be like everybody can contribute, regardless of what it is.
And I think to like engage socially and locally or globally and socially, people would go out and find ways to help in their community or help in their nation even, and they would go out and find ways to improve the life they have or the lives around them. And I think that would be something that if they had these values, that would be something they would do a lot.
So that gives me a sense of what students would be doing. Give me a sense of you. What fires you up? What most inspires you from these two domains?
Add value to the world. I think that's something that not enough people really do. And I think that if that could be a value instilled in people at a very young age, then the human condition would improve a lot. If every person could add just a little bit of value to the world, then as a whole, it would add up to a much, much better world.
I think valuing diversity as a strength because it's easy for us to get along with people who are just like us, but you can get more things done with different types of people who have different beliefs and do different things.
I also like add value to the world through service because I think I personally have done a lot of community service throughout my high school career, and that has taught me discipline, and it's taught me that I'm not the only person in the world, and giving back is also an important part of being a citizen.
I love the work flexibly as leaders and contributors part, especially because, like in the band, we talk about student leader auditions and things like that. But we always think to ourselves, well, why are the student leaders the only ones that are held up to that standard? We want a whole marching band full of student leaders, and that would be fantastic.
I think it's important to like listen to decipher meaning because a lot of people they just hear the words that are being said, but really like can understand them. You can like relate to the person or like whatever's being said better.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really neat. So the last question we want to ask you is, what would your teachers be doing to help you develop these? What would the adults in our system be doing that would be supportive in you growing into these attributes you just talked about?
As much as I don't enjoy doing this very much, I think that in order to communicate and collaborate effectively, they should, during group projects, don't let us work with who we want to, but put us with people that we haven't worked with before, because that makes you uncomfortable and it makes you work with different people.
I think that, for example, recently we will have completed the Habitat for Humanity project on February 6th. And that's something that was teacher organized. And I think if teachers could organize more things like that, obviously they're very busy grading all of our stuff and doing all of that. But if they could organize, a few of those a year and make those very well publicized, then I think that could really teach the value of giving back to the community and to the world.
I agree with that because I think it's important students to know and adds service to their community without just worrying about it for community service hours and just really being interested in it, not for college or other reasons.
I think, as much as I wouldn't like to say this, that teachers should assess us a little more on if we really understand why they're saying things, because it says listen to the Decipher meaning, and as of the state right now, we only do that sort of thing in like English class or communications class, and it could be easily integrated into the science program and the math program, because there are some people that just don't know how to listen well.
Yeah, I like that because a lot of people, they'll just like memorize something, like they'll memorize a formula or, you know, like the answer, and they won't really understand like why it's the answer or like why that's the way it is. I think that's important.
Wow. Well, I know I am fired up. You guys inspired me, and I can't wait to see what the teachers have to say about this domain.